Hello, everyone. Today, I want to tell you something very surprising. You may think it is a story from a movie, but it is not. It is real life. Everything you will hear is true. It really happened. Imagine living in a country where you cannot wear the clothes you like. You cannot listen to your favorite music. You cannot even say what you think, even at home. One wrong word, and you can disappear forever. In that country, if you don't cry at the leader's funeral, you can go to prison. If you try to leave the country, your whole family can be punished. It is hard to believe, but this is real life for many people. This is what life is like in North Korea. North Korea is a country where people are not free. It is a place where fear is part of daily life. Today, I will take you inside that world and tell you the truth. By the time you finish reading this story, you will feel shocked and sad, but you will also feel lucky to have your freedom. So please read until the end. Only then will you understand the full truth. For more than 70 years, one family has ruled North Korea. It started with a man named Kim Il-sung. Then his son, Kim Jong-il, became the leader. Now his grandson, Kim Jong-un, is the ruler. One family, 3 generations. These leaders treat the country like it belongs to them. They live in big houses and eat the best food. But most people in North Korea do not have enough to eat. Many are poor and hungry. Life is very hard for them. In most countries, when a baby is born, the parents make decisions. They choose the baby's name, the school, and many things for the future. But in North Korea, the government makes many of those decisions instead. From the day you are born, the government puts you in a group. This group is called songbun. Songbun is like a score for your family. It decides how you will live, where you will go to school, and what job you will have. If your family is close to the government and supports it, your songbun is high. This means you can live in a good city, study in better schools, and get a good job. Life is easier for you. You are treated with more respect. But if your family is not trusted by the government, your songbun is low. You will live in a poor area. You can only go to bad schools and will get the worst jobs. Even if you are smart and work hard, your life will still be hard. The most surprising thing is that songbun is not based on what you do. It is based on what your family did many years ago. Even your grandfather's actions can decide your life. If he made a mistake, you pay the price. For example, if your grandfather was a soldier who helped the government, you may have a good life. But if he was a businessman or said something bad about the leaders, your whole family can be punished for many years. Even if your grandfather made a mistake 50 years ago and you never met him, you will still suffer. You cannot change your songbun. No matter how good you are, you cannot escape this unfair system. This is how life works in North Korea. The people are not free to make choices. Everything is controlled by the government. They cannot speak freely. They cannot follow their dreams, and they cannot live how they want. Now that you know this, think about your own life. You can choose your clothes, your music, your friends, your job. You can say what you want. You have freedom. The people of North Korea do not have these things. This is just the beginning of the story. There is still much more to learn. As you read more, you will see how hard and sad life can be for people in North Korea. But you will also learn about their strength and courage. In North Korea, once your songbun is decided, it stays with you forever. Even if you were not born when your family made a mistake, you still suffer. You cannot change your songbun no matter how hard you try in life. Imagine being punished because your great-grandfather did something the government didn't like. You never met him. You never spoke to him. But you still have to live with his mistake. That is the sad truth in North Korea. People are not free to wear what they want. In most countries, women can wear jeans, shorts, or dresses. Men can grow long hair or style it how they like. But in North Korea, clothing is strictly controlled by the government. Women must wear skirts that cover their knees. Jeans, short skirts, and tight clothes are not allowed. If a woman wears a tight dress, she can be punished. Makeup like red lipstick is also banned. The government calls it a Western idea. Men and women are only allowed to choose from 50 government-approved hairstyles. If a man's hair is too long, or if a woman dyes her hair, the police will stop them. Can you imagine being arrested just because of your haircut? There was a woman who wore tight pants in the capital city. The police saw her and arrested her. She was sent to a special camp for punishment. For many months, she had to do hard work. Her crime was her clothing. This may sound like a movie, but it is not. It is real life in North Korea. Something as simple as what you wear can get you into big trouble. People live in fear of doing something wrong every day. Now, let's talk about food. Food is something all people need. In many countries, people can go to the market or store and buy food. Even in poor countries, people usually have some choices. But in North Korea, it is different. The government controls all the food. Every family gets a fixed amount of food each month. This is called a ration. How much food you get depends on your songbun. Your rank controls not just your job or school, but even your meals. If your songbun is high, you may get rice, eggs, and some vegetables. If your songbun is low, you only get corn and cabbage. Meat is very rare for most people. Many North Koreans live without eating meat for years. A man who escaped from North Korea said his family received only 3 kilograms of rice each month. This was not enough for them to live. So they had to mix the rice with grass and tree bark to survive. Many people try to find food in secret. There is something called a black market. It is a place where people secretly buy and sell food. But if you're caught buying food this way, you can go to prison or worse. People risk everything just to eat. That shows how serious the problem is. In most places, people may worry about what kind of food they want. In North Korea, people worry about whether they will have food at all. It's hard to believe, but this is the daily life of many North Koreans. They cannot wear what they want, eat what they want, or even choose their hairstyle. So many basic things we take for granted are not allowed there. Even thinking freely is not allowed. In most countries, people can have their own opinions. They can talk about the government or read books with different ideas. But in North Korea, your thoughts are also watched and controlled. The government wants to control every part of life. What you eat, what you wear, how you look, and even how you think must follow the rules. If you break the rules, the punishment is very serious and can even hurt your family. People live in fear every day. They are careful with their words, their clothes, and even their faces. A small mistake can lead to big trouble. This is how strong the government's control is in North Korea. Now you can see that life in North Korea is very hard. Things that are simple for us are very difficult for them. But this is not the end of the story. There is still much more to understand about this secret country. In many countries, people can speak freely. They can say what they think about their leaders. They can read many books and watch different movies. But in North Korea, people cannot do this. Even your thoughts must follow government rules. From a very young age, children in North Korea are taught to love the leader like he is a god. They are told he is perfect. At school, they must learn his speeches and repeat them again and again. Every home in North Korea has a radio. But this radio is special. It cannot be turned off. It plays messages from the government all day, every day. People must listen to it, even when they do not want to. Books, TV shows, and movies are also controlled. You cannot choose what to read or watch. There is no real internet in North Korea. You cannot read news from other countries. The only news is what the government allows. If someone is caught watching a foreign movie, the punishment is very serious. A teenager once watched a South Korean drama. The government found out. He was killed in front of 10,000 people. His parents were sent to prison for 15 years. Can you imagine that? Watching a simple TV show can lead to death. This is the level of control in North Korea. Even normal things like movies and songs can be seen as crimes. People live in fear every day. There are secret police everywhere in North Korea. They are not wearing uniforms, so you cannot tell who they are. They listen to what people say. Sometimes your co-worker, neighbor, or even your family member may report you. If someone hears you say something bad about the government, they can tell the police. After that, you might disappear. No one will know where you went. People speak very quietly, even at home. They are afraid someone might be listening. One woman saw her neighbor taken away in the middle of the night. He told a small joke about the leader. The next day, he was gone forever. This is why people are so careful. They always feel watched. In North Korea, nothing is truly yours. You don't just lose your freedom to speak. The government controls what you eat, what you wear, where you live, and even what you think. Your whole life belongs to the state. This is not the end of the story. There are even more strange and sad things about daily life in North Korea. You will now learn about something very unusual that happens in every house across the country. In every North Korean home, there are two important pictures. One is of Kim Il-sung, the first leader. The other is of Kim Jong-il, his son. These pictures must hang on the wall and be kept very clean. No other pictures are allowed on the same wall. People cannot decorate these portraits or put anything near them. Every morning, families must clean the pictures carefully, using a special cloth. The government sends people to check if the pictures are clean. If the pictures are dusty, the family can get into trouble. If there is a fire in the home, the first thing people must save is not their children or parents. The first thing is the leader's pictures. One day, there was a fire in a family's house. The father quickly ran to save his little daughter, but he forgot to take the leader's portraits. The next day, the police came and arrested him. His crime was not saving the pictures first. Most people in North Korea work very hard. They work long hours every day, but they earn very little money. The average pay for 1 month is only $3 to $5 US. That is not even enough to buy food for 1 week. With so little money, people cannot buy meat or fruit. Many only eat rice or corn. Some people try to earn extra money by selling things in secret, but if they are caught, they can be sent to prison. The government says North Korea is rich and strong, but most people live in very poor conditions. They have little food, small homes, and very hard lives, all while the leaders live in big houses with fancy food and many luxuries. Even with so many problems, people are afraid to complain. They know they can be punished if they say anything bad. So they smile in public and say good things about the leaders, even if they are suffering inside. This chapter showed how the government controls people's thoughts and daily lives. You now understand why many North Koreans are afraid to speak, but there is still more to learn. The next part will show even darker truths. In North Korea, many people cannot live with only the small food they get from the government. To survive, they secretly buy and sell food, clothes, and goods in black markets. These markets are illegal, but many people have no choice. If someone is caught working in a black market, the punishment is very serious. They can lose all their money and food. They can also be sent to prison. Even just buying rice without permission can bring very big trouble. One man worked many extra hours in a factory. He saved some money to buy food for his family. He bought rice in the black market. But the police caught him. They took his money and sent him to a labor camp. In North Korea, labor camps are terrible places. People go there for small reasons, like talking badly about the government or buying food in secret. These camps are not like normal prisons. They are places full of pain and fear. In the camps, people get almost no food. They are given a little dirty soup and some rice. This is not enough to live. Many prisoners are always hungry. To survive, some eat grass, tree bark, rats, frogs, and even insects. One former prisoner said he saw people fighting over a dead rat. They had nothing else to eat. Another person was beaten badly just for eating grass. The guards punished him so hard he almost died. Life in these camps is very hard. North Korea has about 26 million people, but more than 40% do not have enough food. In the 1990s, there was a big famine. A famine is a time when many people die from hunger. In North Korea, millions died during that time. Parents could do nothing as they watched their children starve. There was no food, and the government did not help. At the same time, the leaders were spending money on guns, weapons, big buildings, and expensive items. The people were left to suffer. While people were dying of hunger, the leader lived in great comfort. Kim Jong-un, the current leader, has his own island, fancy cars, and a private movie theater. He enjoys a rich life while his people eat grass and tree bark. One man who escaped from North Korea said the leader eats steak and drinks wine. But in his village, children were sick and dying from hunger. Can you believe that? A leader enjoying luxury while his people suffer in such pain? In many countries, if you want to visit another city, you can simply buy a train or bus ticket. But in North Korea, people cannot travel freely. They need special permission from the government to go even to nearby cities. Leaving the country is almost impossible. The borders are full of guards, landmines, and fences. If someone tries to escape, they are often killed. It is a huge risk. The government wants to stop anyone from leaving. One woman tried to escape with her little son. She paid smugglers to help them cross the river into China. But before they could run, the guards caught her. She was killed in front of a large group of people. Her young son was not safe either. He was sent to a prison camp as punishment. In North Korea, it is not just the person who gets punished. If you break the law, your whole family can also suffer. This is very cruel. This kind of punishment is called 3 generations of punishment. It means if one person does something wrong, their parents, brothers, sisters, and even children can be sent to prison camps too. The government wants to make everyone afraid. So, even if someone wants to do the right thing or speak the truth, they stay silent. They are too afraid that their actions will hurt the people they love. This fear controls their lives every day. Most people in North Korea live in a prison without walls. They cannot move freely, speak freely, or eat freely. Their lives are controlled by the government, and if they make a mistake, their whole family can lose everything. Even with all this pain and suffering, many people still try to survive. They help each other in secret. They work extra hours. They do what they can to feed their children. Their lives are hard, but they do not give up. This chapter shows how life is not only hard for one person in North Korea. It is hard for whole families. People suffer, starve, and are punished for things they did not even do. This is one of the saddest parts of the story. In North Korea, if you break a rule or commit a crime, you are not the only one who suffers. The government will punish your whole family. Your parents, your brothers or sisters, even your children can be sent to prison. One man was caught listening to music from another country. He was sent to a prison camp for 20 years. But that was not all. His parents and his younger brother were also sent to prison just because they were related to him. Another man ran away to South Korea. When the government found out, they arrested his entire family. Even his grandmother, who had done nothing wrong, was taken away. This is very cruel. Imagine your family suffering for something you did. The government uses this fear to control people. If you even think about escaping or saying something bad, you stop yourself. You know your loved ones could be punished. So people stay quiet and follow the rules, even when they are unfair. In many countries, people can watch movies, listen to music, and read books from anywhere in the world. They can go on the internet and use sites like Google, YouTube, or Facebook. But in North Korea, none of this is allowed. There is no real internet in North Korea. People can only see websites approved by the government. They cannot search freely. They cannot read news from other countries. They can only see what the government wants them to see. TV channels in North Korea only show government programs. These shows are full of messages that tell people the leader is great and the country is perfect. These messages are repeated again and again, every day. Books are also controlled. People can only read books that support the government. Reading a book from another country is a crime. A young man had a USB drive with a South Korean music video on it. He was caught and killed for it. Yes, his punishment was death, just for having a music video. This is how strict and harsh the rules are. Even small actions that are normal in other countries can lead to terrible punishments in North Korea. So far, you have learned many sad things. People are hungry, poor, and scared. They work long hours for almost no money. They eat rats and grass in prison. Their leaders live in luxury while the people suffer every day. But what you are about to hear is even worse. The government uses strong punishments to make people afraid. They want people to never speak up or fight back. These punishments include public killings and terrible prison camps. There is one prison camp in North Korea called Camp 14. It is one of the most feared places in the country. People who are sent there almost never come back. Life there is full of pain, hunger, and hard work. Imagine being caught for something simple like listening to a foreign song. The police take you away. You get no lawyer, no trial, and no chance to defend yourself. You are simply taken to a prison camp and your life is gone. In Camp 14, prisoners wake up at 5 in the morning and work until midnight. They do not rest. If they move too slowly, the guards beat them with sticks. There is no kindness, only fear and pain. Prisoners are given just one small meal each day. It is usually dirty water and a little corn. This is not enough food to live. If they want more food, they must catch rats, frogs, or insects. This is the only way to survive. One former prisoner said people would fight over a single dead rat because they were so hungry. Another prisoner tried to eat grass. The guards saw him and beat him so badly that he almost died. These are real stories from real people. The prison camps in North Korea are places of deep suffering. People are treated worse than animals. They are not given enough food or rest. They are not treated like humans. Most people in these camps do not live long. Why does the government do this? They want to control everyone with fear. If people are too scared to speak, they will obey. They will not ask questions. They will not fight for their rights. They will just try to stay alive. North Korea's leaders want people to believe that everything is fine, but behind closed doors there is pain, hunger, and fear. The government tells lies to control people's minds, and they use terrible punishments to control their actions. Even though the truth is very sad, it is important to know. The more we understand, the more we can help. Now that you have heard about the prison camps and punishments, you can see just how hard life is in North Korea. There was a man named Shin Dong-hyuk who was born inside a prison camp called Camp 14. He did not know about the outside world. He thought the camp was the only place that existed. His whole life was inside the prison. His parents were also prisoners. The guards forced them to marry, not out of love, but because the camp decided it. Shin was just a child, but he saw very bad things happen every day around him. His life was full of fear. When he was young, he saw people being killed in front of others. These public killings were common. One day, the worst thing happened. His own mother and brother were executed because they tried to escape. Shin was forced to watch. The guards made him stand and see his mother and brother die. That was his punishment. The pain was terrible. It was not his mistake, but he still had to suffer. This memory stayed with him forever. It broke his heart. Later in life, Shin escaped from the prison. He was one of the few who got out. Most people in labor camps do not live long. They die from hunger, sickness, or being beaten. Escaping is very hard and very rare. In North Korea, people are not just sent to prison. Sometimes they are killed in public. These public killings are used to scare people. The government wants everyone to be afraid, so they will follow the rules without asking questions. People are forced to watch these killings. They must stand and look as someone is shot or hanged. The idea is to teach a lesson. The message is clear. If you break the rules, you could die. There is no safety. You may wonder what kinds of things can get a person killed. It could be something small. Watching a foreign movie can be a death sentence. Owning a Bible or talking badly about the leader is also considered a serious crime. One woman was killed just because she gave Bibles to other people. She wanted to share her faith, but the government called it dangerous. This is how strict life is. If you disobey, the punishment is death. There is no mercy. You might ask why people don't fight back or run away. The answer is sad. The reason is propaganda. Propaganda means spreading lies to control people's minds. From birth, people in North Korea are taught things that are not true. Children are taught in school that North Korea is the best country in the world. They learn that the leader is like a god and never makes mistakes. They are told that the outside world is full of pain and danger. There is no internet. There are no real news stories. People cannot read foreign books. They cannot hear other voices or opinions. They only hear what the government wants them to believe. This keeps them under control from a young age. Even TV shows and school books tell lies. They say that people in places like the United States or South Korea are poor, sad, and hungry. They teach that only North Korea gives people a good life and safety. The government even builds fake shops and fake towns to show to visitors. These places look clean and nice, but no one actually lives there. It is just for show. Everything is part of the plan to hide the truth. The biggest lie is about the leader, Kim Jong-un. People are told he is a god. The government shares many strange stories to make him look powerful. These stories are not true, but people are forced to believe and repeat them. For example, they say Kim Jong-il, his father, never needed to use the toilet because his body was perfect. They say Kim Jong-un can change the weather with his feelings. These things sound silly, but in North Korea, you cannot laugh. You must pretend to believe everything. If you don't, you can be punished. Some people are even executed for not showing enough love or respect to the leader. Fear keeps people silent. Lies keep people under control. The truth is hidden from the people. They are trapped in a world where they cannot think freely. They cannot learn about the world. They cannot dream of a better life. From birth, they are taught to worship one man. This is the sad and painful life for millions of people. But now, you know the truth. You have seen how deep the control goes. You understand how fear and lies work together to keep a nation under the power of one leader. When Kim Il-sung, the first leader of North Korea, was born, the government said a new star appeared in the sky. People were forced to believe this. They are also forced to bow to his statues and cry when they see them. If someone does not cry enough or show strong feelings, they can be punished. In some cases, they are even killed. One man was caught falling asleep during a speech by Kim Jong-un. He was taken away and never seen again. Kim Jong-un, the current leader, does not even trust his own family. In 2017, his half-brother Kim Jong-nam was killed in an airport in Malaysia. He was poisoned. It was reported that Kim Jong-un gave the order to kill him. The reason for killing his own brother was simple. Kim Jong-nam had spoken badly about the North Korean government. This was seen as a big crime. In North Korea, even words against the leader can cost you your life. Kim Jong-un also had his uncle, Jang Song-taek, killed. His crime? Not showing enough respect to the leader. What's worse is that Kim made his own family members watch the execution. They had no choice. They had to stand and watch. In many countries, people are free to talk about their leaders. They can complain or say they disagree. But in North Korea, if you speak even one bad word about Kim Jong-un, you can disappear. The punishment is quick and cruel. One man whispered to a friend that Kim Jong-un was not a good leader. A few days later, police came to his home. He was taken away and never seen again. This is how fear controls people in North Korea. Another woman was caught listening to a radio from South Korea. It was early in the morning when she and her entire family were taken by the police. No one knows what happened to them after that. They were just gone. Some people who are caught are killed immediately. Others are sent to labor camps. In those camps, people are beaten, tortured, and given almost no food. Many die slowly from sickness, cold, or hunger. It is a very painful life. Because of this, no one dares to speak the truth. People stay silent, even when they know things are wrong. They are afraid. Every second of their lives is filled with fear. Speaking one wrong word could mean the end of their life. Now you know many painful facts about North Korea. You know how the people live in fear, how labor camps break people, and how the leader controls even their thoughts. You have learned how far the government will go to keep power. You have seen how public killings keep people afraid. You have heard how Kim Jong-un acts like a god. He even kills his own family members to stay in control. But there is more to this story. It gets even more dangerous. There are secrets that North Korea is trying to hide. One of the biggest secrets is how some people try to escape. They try to leave the country even though it is very dangerous. There are hidden ways, like secret tunnels and helpers. In most countries, if you do not like your leader or your government, you can leave. You can move to another city or country. But in North Korea, leaving is against the law. You are not allowed to escape or run away. If someone tries to leave and is caught, the punishment is very harsh. They may be killed in front of a large crowd. This is done to scare others. Or they may be sent to a labor camp for life. In these camps, people are worked until they die. They get very little food. They are beaten and treated like animals. The pain lasts for years. And what's worse, their family will also be punished even if they did nothing wrong. Parents, brothers, sisters, and children can be sent to prison camps just because one person tried to leave. This kind of punishment is called guilt by association. It means if one person makes a mistake, the whole family pays the price. The government does this to stop people from escaping. If you know your family will suffer, you will not run. You will stay, even if you are unhappy. The fear of losing your loved ones keeps people under the government's control. This is why it is so hard for people in North Korea to fight back or escape. They are trapped by fear. Their voices are silenced. Their lives are ruled by a leader who will do anything to keep power. Now you have heard the truth about Kim Jong-un and the control he has. You have learned about fear, silence, and the power of lies. But there is still one part of the story left, and it may be the most important of all. Even with all the danger some North Korean people still try to escape, they dream of a better life. They know it is very risky, but they want to be free. They are ready to take the chance, no matter the cost. To the south is South Korea, but between the two countries is a border called the DMZ. This stands for Demilitarized Zone. It is one of the most dangerous borders in the world. It is full of landmines, fences, and armed soldiers. No one can cross the DMZ without being caught or killed. To the north is China. Some people try to escape by crossing the river into China. In the winter, the river is frozen, and guards watch it very closely. The border guards in North Korea are told to shoot anyone trying to run away. That is their job. So most people who want to escape must cross into China quietly, without being seen. It is the only possible way to leave. But even if someone reaches China, the journey is not over. They must then find a safe way to reach South Korea or another country. This takes a lot of time, planning, and help from other people. It is not easy. If someone is caught while escaping, the punishment is terrible. They are not just sent to prison, they are tortured. Many people who were caught trying to leave have shared their painful stories after escaping again later. Some said they were beaten with metal sticks until their bones broke. Others had their fingernails pulled out with sharp tools. Some were made to kneel on stones for hours. The pain was horrible, and the guards showed no mercy. Women who were pregnant were often treated the worst. If their baby's father was Chinese, the women were forced to have abortions. The government did not want babies with mixed blood. These stories are very sad, but they are real. One brave woman named Park Yeon-mi escaped when she was just a teenager. She made it to safety. But later, she found out that her friend was caught. Her friend was killed in front of her own family as a warning. Even with all these risks, some people try to help North Koreans escape. There is a secret network, like the one in history that helped slaves in America. This network helps people move secretly and find safe places in other countries. The people who run this network keep everything secret. The escape paths are not shared openly. If they are discovered, many lives could be lost. People trying to escape never know who they can trust. Some make it, others disappear forever. There are also brave people inside North Korea who try to fight back in small ways. They try to show others the truth. They pass secret USB drives filled with news, movies, and music from other countries. Radios are hidden in walls so people can hear news from South Korea. Fake money and documents are used to bribe guards. These small actions help people see that the outside world is not as scary as the government says. In South Korea, some groups try to send information into North Korea. They tie leaflets, USBs, and even money to balloons. Then they let the balloons float over the border. This is dangerous, but it is one way to spread the truth. The North Korean government hates these actions. They know that if people learn the truth, they may stop obeying. If people understand the lies, they may rise up and ask for change. So the government tries to stop outside information at all costs. If someone is caught with a foreign movie, a USB drive, or even a simple radio, they can be killed. The punishment is death. The government wants to make sure people never see the real world or hear the real news. This is what makes North Korea so dangerous. It is not just the rules or the prisons. It is the fear, the control, and the lies. People are trapped, not just by walls, but by the information they are given from birth. But even in this darkness, there is hope. There are people who are fighting back quietly. They risk their lives to help others learn the truth. They believe that one day the people of North Korea will be free. The leaders of North Korea know one big truth. If the people wake up and learn the truth, the dictatorship will end. That is why they try so hard to control everything. They are afraid of people learning what is really happening. Many people ask, why doesn't the world help North Korea? Why don't other countries stop this? The answer is not simple. Some countries want to help, but others have reasons to stay quiet or even support the North Korean government. China is one country that secretly supports North Korea. It wants to keep a border between itself and South Korea, which is a close friend of the United States. So China helps North Korea for its own political and safety reasons. Russia also does business with North Korea. It trades goods and services to avoid U.S. sanctions. These deals help Russia make money and keep influence in the region. For them, North Korea is useful, even if the people there suffer. Some powerful countries use North Korea as an excuse to spend more money on weapons. They say they need to protect themselves. So instead of helping the people, they use fear of North Korea to grow their own armies and military power. There are many human rights groups trying to help. They tell the world about the pain and fear in North Korea. They share real stories. But even these groups have a hard time creating real change because governments don't want to start a war. Because of this, North Korea stays the same. It remains a prison for 26 million people. People live under control with no freedom. The leaders live in comfort while the citizens suffer. The world watches but does not act strongly enough. But there is one final and powerful secret, a secret that North Korea does not want anyone to know. Despite all the control, despite all the fear, something is slowly happening. People inside the country are beginning to wake up. More people are listening to foreign radio in secret. They hear news from South Korea or other countries. They learn that life outside North Korea is not like what they were told. It is different, and it gives them hope. Some people are even risking their lives to escape. They are no longer afraid of the lies. They are tired of fear. They are starting to believe in freedom. Even small actions like listening to a song or watching a movie become powerful. The people are slowly losing their fear of the leader. More and more of them are asking questions. They are starting to think for themselves. One day, this may lead to something bigger. One day, the people may rise together and demand change. When that day comes, the world will see everything. The full truth will be clear. The pain, the lies, the suffering, and the bravery of those who stood up for freedom will be known to everyone. That day will change history. Right now, the North Korean government is afraid of only one thing. They fear the people knowing the truth. Because once the people stop believing the lies, the power of the dictatorship will begin to fall apart. That is their greatest fear. Now you know the truth too. You understand that North Korea is not just a country with strong rules. It is a prison where people live in silence and fear. But even in this dark place, hope still lives. The world sees what is happening, but politics often stop real change. Some leaders are afraid of war. Others want to protect their own interests. But the biggest and most important secret is this. The people of North Korea are waking up. This story is one of the most shocking and sad stories in the world. But it is not finished. There is still hope. As long as one person fights back, the dream of freedom will stay alive. The truth cannot be hidden forever. One day, the lies will fall. The fear will end. And the people of North Korea will finally live in freedom. On that day, the world will understand the true strength and bravery of those who never gave up, even in the darkest times. If you felt shocked or surprised by this story, please share it with your friends, family, or classmates. When more people know what is really happening, it becomes harder for these things to stay hidden. The truth should not be kept a secret. You are lucky to live in a place where you are free. You can walk outside without fear. You can say what you think. You can wear the clothes you like, watch the movies you enjoy, and listen to music from any country. You can read books that teach you new things. You can use the internet to search for news and videos. You can talk to people from other countries. You can post your ideas online. These are things many people do every day without thinking. But in North Korea, people cannot do any of this. They are not free to speak, move, or even think as they want. They must follow strict rules from the government. If they do not follow the rules, they will be punished harshly. In North Korea, people are scared all the time. They are scared of being watched. They are scared to say something wrong, even in their own homes. Sometimes they are punished just for telling a joke about their leader. Imagine living like that every day. Some people in North Korea are punished for wearing the wrong clothes or listening to foreign music. Others are taken away for trying to watch a movie from South Korea. These things seem small, but in North Korea, they are treated like serious crimes. There are many stories of people being taken to labor camps. These are places where people are forced to work very hard, from early morning until late at night. They are given very little food and must survive in cold, dirty, and dangerous conditions. Some people are even born inside these prison camps. They grow up never knowing freedom. They live their whole lives inside a place full of pain, fear, and hard work. Many of them die young from hunger or sickness. This is not a story. It is real life. In North Korea, people do not just lose their own freedom. Many times, their family members are also punished. If one person makes a mistake, their parents, children, and even grandparents may be sent to prison camps too. This is called 3 generations of punishment. Imagine being punished for something your uncle or cousin said. It is not fair, but this is how the North Korean government keeps people afraid. People are too scared to speak because their family could suffer for their words. In the labor camps, people work from early morning until late at night. They work in fields, factories, or mines. The jobs are very hard, and the food is never enough. Some people eat grass or insects just to survive. In winter, there is little heat. Many prisoners get sick, but there are no doctors to help them. If someone becomes too weak to work, they are beaten. Life in these camps is like a nightmare that never ends. There are also children in these prison camps. They do not go to school. Instead, they are forced to work just like adults. They carry heavy things, dig the ground, or clean dirty places. Some children grow up in the camps and do not even know the world outside exists. They think this life is normal because it is all they have ever known. That is one of the saddest parts of this story. Despite all this fear, some people are strong and brave. They try to escape. They walk through deep rivers or climb over mountains. They travel at night to avoid being seen. Some people do not make it, but others do reach safety. These people tell their stories to the world so everyone can learn what is happening in North Korea. Their voices are important. They give us a reason to care and to speak out. Some groups outside of North Korea are trying to help. They send USB drives with movies, songs, and news into the country. Some send balloons that float over the border and drop messages of hope. These may seem like small things, but they can change lives. A single video or song can help someone realize there is a better world out there. And once a person learns the truth, they can never unlearn it. The North Korean government tries to stop this information, but they cannot stop every message. Slowly, more people are waking up. They are beginning to question what they were told. They are beginning to dream of a life without fear. And one day, when enough people wake up, real change will come. Even though the government tries to control everything, some people are brave. They try to learn the truth. They find secret ways to listen to radio stations from other countries. They hide small USB drives that contain movies, music, and news from outside. A few people escape. They walk through rivers or mountains, sometimes in the dark and cold. They hide from guards, dogs, and soldiers. They are always afraid of being caught. If they are caught, they are sent back and treated even worse than before. People who escape and survive often help others. They use secret ways to help more people leave North Korea. These brave people risk everything. If they are caught helping, they can be killed or sent to prison camps for life. Still, they continue. Now think about your life. You might feel sad or bored sometimes. Maybe you wish for better clothes, more money, or more fun. But remember, you can speak, learn, and travel. You can laugh with your friends and talk to your family without fear. When you feel tired of school or frustrated with problems, try to remember the people who have no freedom. In North Korea, even a smile or a question can be dangerous. People there only dream of having what you already have every day. So, be thankful. Be happy for your freedom. Be proud that you can learn and grow without fear. Even simple things like walking outside, using a phone, or reading a book are very special. Many people in the world still don't have these rights. This story about North Korea is sad, but it also teaches us something important. We should not take our freedom for granted. We should remember that there are people who are still fighting for their freedom. They are risking their lives every day. The leaders in North Korea are afraid. They know that if the people learn the truth, they will no longer believe the lies. That is why sharing this story is so important. If more people speak up, change might come one day. Truth is stronger than fear. Many people in the world wake up and go to school, go to work, or enjoy time with their family. They do not think twice about their rights. They can choose what to eat, what to wear, or where to travel. These are simple choices, but they mean a lot. In North Korea, every day is a struggle. Parents worry not just about food, but about safety. They fear their children might say something wrong at school and bring danger to the whole family. This fear is always there. It never goes away. Imagine waking up every morning and not knowing if today you will be taken away. Imagine wondering if a small joke, a foreign song, or the way you dressed could be the reason your life changes forever. That is the fear people live with daily. People in North Korea are very strong. Even though life is full of fear and pain, they still try to smile for their children. They still work hard. They still help each other when they can. Their courage is something we should admire. Freedom is not just about doing what you want. It is about feeling safe to speak, to learn, and to dream. It is about knowing your future is in your own hands. In North Korea, people are still waiting for this kind of life. That is why stories like this matter. The more we talk about these truths, the harder it becomes for governments to hide their actions. The more we share, the closer we come to a future where no one has to live in fear. Sometimes, when life feels difficult or unfair, we should think about those who live without even the smallest rights. We can be thankful and also help others by speaking up, learning more, and not forgetting the people who are still suffering. This story is not just about sadness. It is also about strength, hope, and the human spirit. Even in the darkest places, there are people who believe in a better tomorrow. They may be quiet, but their hope is strong. You are lucky to be free. Use your voice to help those who cannot speak. Use your heart to care about their pain. Use your time to learn more and share what you know. Every small action can make a big difference. Even though North Korea feels far away, we are all part of the same world. When one part of the world suffers, we all lose something. Freedom, kindness, and justice are not just for some people, they are for everyone. You may wonder if your voice can really make a difference, but every time you share a story, every time you talk about what is happening, you are helping to open someone's eyes. Change begins with awareness. Change begins with you. There are many ways to help. You can talk to your friends and family about what you have learned. You can read more and stay informed. You can support groups that help people escape or send information into North Korea. Small actions can create big change. Think about the small freedoms you have. Being able to say, "I don't agree," without fear. Being able to listen to your favorite song. Eating what you like for dinner. Wearing the clothes that make you feel comfortable. These are things millions of people cannot do. In North Korea, many young people do not even know what freedom means. They grow up believing lies about the world. They are told that other countries are evil, that their leader is perfect, and that their suffering is normal. But it is not normal. It is wrong. Some people in North Korea are starting to understand that they have been lied to. This is a very brave thing. Once someone learns the truth, they must keep it a secret. If they speak openly, they could disappear forever. Even knowing the truth is dangerous. That is why truth is so powerful. It gives people strength. It gives people the courage to hope for something better. When people have hope, they begin to dream. When people dream, they begin to act. And when they act, change becomes possible. Right now, there are people who are risking their lives to tell the truth. Some hide radios to hear the outside world. Some send messages through balloons. Some escape and speak out. Others teach their children in secret, hoping one day they will live free. Their bravery should inspire us. Their pain should remind us that freedom is not free. It is something to protect and to share. And their hope should remind us that even in the darkest place, light is possible. So, as you finish reading this story, ask yourself, what can I do with the freedom I have? How can I help others who do not have it? These are the questions that help make the world better, step by step. Now that you know the truth about daily life in North Korea, you might want to know more. You might wonder how the leader became so powerful and why people are so afraid of him. You might want to know his secrets and his history. Kim Jong-un is the leader of North Korea. He is known for being very strict and cruel. Some people say he hurt or killed members of his own family. Others say he lives in luxury while his people are starving. But who is he really? If you want to learn about Kim Jong-un, his childhood, his family, how he got power, and the terrible things he has done, let us know. There is still much to tell. The story of the leader is just as shocking as the story of the people. There are many people around the world who do not know this truth. That is why we must continue to share it. When people learn the truth, they begin to care. And when they care, they can help others. That is how change begins. You now know more than most people about what life is like in North Korea. This story is sad, painful, and difficult, but it is also important, and it is not finished. Every person who hears it becomes part of the change that may one day come. If you are lucky enough to read this, you are already living a life that millions of people are dreaming of. Use your voice, your freedom, and your heart to help others. One day, the walls will fall. One day, North Koreans will be free.